Hello students, today we are going to discuss the topic gravitation. So today we are going to introduce gravitation and universal law of gravitation. So firstly let us see that what is gravitation. Gravitation is a force of attraction. Force of attraction means every object attracts every other objects. Every body in the universe which possesses mass will possess this force of attraction that we say force of gravitation. So every body universe में जो भी bodies हैं जिनके पास mass है वो ये force of attraction possess करेंगी जिसे हम बोलते हैं force of gravitation. Now you have seen the certain phenomena around yourself, like you have seen that falling of fruits from the trees. These fruits fall downward, and if you will throw the ball in the upward direction, then what will happen? This ball will come to the downward direction. Or if you see that in rainy season, what happen? Drops of rain fall towards the ground. Why these things are happening? Why all these things are coming downward in the direction? They are not going in the upward direction. Why? There must be some force which is pulling these things in the downward direction. So that force is force of attraction or force of gravitation, which is pulling all these things in the downward direction. Whenever, even if we throw these objects in the upward direction, then they'll come back in the downward direction. Now if we talk about the origin of the gravitation, then what is the origin of the gravitation? You all have listened very famous story of Sir Isaac Newton. What happened? Once Sir Isaac Newton was sitting below a tree. Then what happened? An apple from the tree falls down and hit on the head of Sir Isaac Newton. Then he examined that why this happened, why this apple fall downwards. Then he came to know that there is some force existing that is pulling the apple in the downward direction. Then he said that this force of attraction is the force of gravitation. Then he conducted many experiments. Then he concluded that this force is not applicable on the earth but also applicable on the other things of universe. So he concluded that every object in the universe is exerting the same force on another object. So from here he come to conclude a very important law which we say universal law of gravitation. This law states that every body in the universe attracts every other body with a force which is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. So let us see that he is saying that जो भी ऑब्जेक्ट हमारे यूनिवर्स में है वो किसी और बॉडी को अट्रैक्ट कर रही है किस फोर्स के साथ? वो जिस फोर्स के साथ भी उसे अट्रैक्ट करेगी वो फोर्स उनके मासेस के प्रोडक्ट के डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल होगी एंड उनके बीच में जो डिस्टेंस है उसके स्क्वायर के इन्वर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल होगी. नाउ लेट अस इलस्ट्रेट दिस डेफिनेशन. Let us consider we have two bodies, any two bodies. So here we are taking a ball and we are taking a square here. Then let mass of body 1 is m1 and mass of body 2 is m2. Let the distance between these two bodies is r. Now according to this law or according to the law of gravitation, these two bodies are exerting force on each other. So according to definition, that this force with which they are attracting each other, this force is directly proportional to product of their masses. So m1 and m2 are the masses of the objects. So it will be directly proportional to product of m1 and m2. And now according to second condition, this force will be inversely proportional to the square of distance. So inversely means it will be in inverse, that is 1 by r square, because distance between the two bodies is r, and it will be inversely opposite to r square. Now when we will join these two equations, then we will have a formula m1 m2 upon r square. Now let us see the meaning of directly proportional and the meaning of inversely proportional. Directly proportional means if the value of this product will increase, then force will also increase. But if the value of the product of masses will decrease, then force will also decrease. So effect will be same on both the quantities. But if we see on this, then this is the inversely proportional to r square. So if r square will increase, force will decrease. It will be opposite. If r square will decrease, then force will increase. So this is the meaning of inversely proportional and directly proportional. And when we joined these two formulas, and we get a certain formula. Now we know we have here the sign of proportionality. If we have to skip this sign and we want to put sign of equality, then we must introduce some constant here. So I am putting constant m1 m2 upon r square. Now here constant will be capital G. Capital G m1 m2 upon r square. So what is G? G is basically universal gravitational constant. Universal gravitational constant. So this was our universal law of gravitation and its mathematical interpretation. Now here question arises that why we can notice the gravitation of earth but not of any other objects on the earth. हम सिर्फ अर्थ की ही ग्रेविटेशन क्यों नोटिस कर सकते हैं? क्यों अगर कोई चीज़ ऊपर से नीचे जाती है तो हमें पता चलता है कि अर्थ उस चीज़ को अट्रैक्ट कर रही है, हमें उसका मोशन दिखाई देता है, हमें उसकी अट्रैक्शन दिखाई देती है, हम नोटिस कर सकते हैं. बट हम अगर हम इन केस ऑफ अदर ऑब्जेक्ट्स देखें, देन वी कैन नॉट सी दिस इफेक्ट. We cannot see that any object which is attracting to another objects, they are moving towards each other. Why? For example, here I have a marker in my hand. This, according to the law of gravitation, this marker is also attracting the things around this marker. This marker is attracting this space also, this marker is attracting this table also, but we cannot see this effect. We cannot notice this attraction. Why? Here we have seen that gravitation force is directly proportional to mass, because we have already discussed that this force totally depends upon the mass. So if we see the mass of earth, then this is very large than any other person or any other object. So that's why if mass is large, then force of gravitation of earth will also be large. So force of gravitation of this earth is very large, that it can be noticed because its mass is very large as compared to the masses of other things or other persons which also follow this rule, but we cannot notice the attraction, we cannot notice the force exerted by these things. Now second question comes that ground can attract the apple, but apple cannot attract the ground towards itself. Why? तो हमने देखा कि जो एप्पल था वो ग्राउंड की तरफ अट्रैक्ट हुआ और वो नीचे गिर गया, बट वाई ग्राउंड वॉज नॉट अट्रैक्टेड टूवर्ड्स एप्पल. तो ग्राउंड एप्पल भी तो वही फोर्स एक्सर्ट कर रहा है, बट why ground is not moving? So here same reason comes that this force depends on mass. So mass of the ground is very large as compared to apple. So that's why this happens, that apple moves towards ground but not ground. So this was our today's concept. For next lectures, stay tuned. Thank you for watching.